Hello and welcome to Talk of the Game, and it's a preview of the last ever FA Cup game at the Bowling Ground as West Ham United will host Manchester United in a quarter-final replay for a spot at Wembley. I'm Gio from Hammers Chat, and I've got Gonzo with me as well, and I've got a big thank you to our other guest, Tom. If you watched the review of the Arsenal game, you'll see that Tom hosted it, and he's going to be doing a lot of that next season. Myself and Gonzo are getting up to some interesting projects with the help of Abbott from Hammers Chat as well. But hopefully you'll see lots of footage coming from our channel, so make sure you subscribe and you don't miss any of it. And keep your eyes on the forum. Well, let's start with our opponents as per usual. Gonzo, what's your thoughts on Manchester United?
I think they lack imagination, they lack creativity, they lack that sort of stardust player that they normally have. I think probably Martial, Gaal would get in our team. Aside from that, I think you're really struggling, to be honest with you. I really don't think they're much of a threat at all, and we've seen them today. They've played Tottenham. They've got absolutely ransacked by a Tottenham team. So I'm not impressed. Van Gaal's a dead man walking. It's what can I say? It doesn't look good. It's very, very different to the Fergie days.
What's your thoughts, Tom? Are you much the same as Gonzo there?
Well, yeah, because I mean we watched them this afternoon. I watched the Spurs game, and the first half they were good. Defensively, they were good. The main threat is probably Martial. He had a good couple of times where he came in from the wing. But as Gonzo said, they were ransacked. One went in, the second went in a couple of minutes later, and then the third. They're very easy to break down. If you know what you're doing, they're very, very easy to break down. And the only person in the way of that is David De Gea, and we've seen what a world-class keeper he can be.
Tom, do you think they lack leadership right now in that team? They had Roy Keane, and since he's gone, they had Vidic and Rio that stuck around, the experience, they had the captain's armband. Rooney, to me, is not much of a captain. He's not. People might hate me because he's the England captain as well, but I just think they lack leadership in that team.
No, I agree. I think maybe Schweinsteiger, when he comes back, is a bit more of a presence, maybe a bit more of a leader. Smalling, to me, seems too quiet. Over the years, you've had some hard-as-nails player, like you mentioned, in Roy Keane and Vidic and Ferdinand, that you just never would mess with, and they would always pull you back into line. And I also think Ferguson was that person that would pull you into line as well. He was a leader, as well as a manager, but Van Gaal isn't that, and I think they struggle for that. Get Schweinsteiger back in, I think they are a different team.
Gonzo, they obviously got thumped today, but is the FA Cup Manchester United's priority now, or do you think they can still maybe clinch top four?
In all honesty, I've not looked at the league table since the game finished, but I just think it's probably really hard to change your mindset if you're a club like Man United that are constantly expected to achieve Champions League. And, well, not even just they should be winning the Champions League, not just sort of hoping to be in the top four so as they qualify for it. I think if you're a team with those sort of expectations, I think it's very hard once it looks like maybe you're slipping out of contention for you to then switch your attentions and think, okay, well, we'll go for the cup. I think at West Ham, it's fine. Nobody expected us to qualify for the top four. So I think maybe if, it looks like we're going to get the top four, we slip out, it might be top six. I think West Ham, in terms of Bilic, the players, the fans, it's very easy for us to switch our focus and think, do you know what? Okay, that's fine. Let's go on a cup run, and we're happy with that. I don't think Manchester United are going to be able to switch to sort of cup mode easily, and I don't think either the players, the manager, or the fans are going to be happy with that either. It'll be a consolation prize.
Do you think that might be the problem at Man United, Gonzo, that the players they've got now aren't necessarily Champions League players? The players that will be starting against us probably haven't got that much Champions League appearances between them compared to what they had when Fergie left.
They might not have, but make no mistake about it, they joined that club to play Champions League. So again, there's a mindset, isn't there? So you've got the Memphis Depay. That's the fella, I think, signed from PSV. So I mean, I think he's a bit of a big time Charlie actually. I think he's Billy Big Wassits and all of that. And he came over and with a big reputation, and it hasn't really happened for him. But make no mistake about it, he joined Manchester United to contest the Champions League. He was meant to be, a a specialist free kick taker. For someone like that, even though he's not been in the team, to switch their mindset to the cup is going to be very hard. And actually, you're looking at things like them they're clutching at straws. Oh, Ashley Young's coming back and things like that. And maybe Fellaini can make a difference. I think when you're a club like Manchester United, you're making those sort of noises, then they're definitely in trouble.
Tom, Gonzo says, in trouble. Would you more describe it as embarrassing for Manchester United?
Yeah, I would. I'd say to an extent it is embarrassing. I think they've made a few bad decisions managerial-wise since Fergie left. I think that, that when Fergie left, you would get a manager with stature. I think to get David Moyes in didn't fit Manchester United at all. He wasn't ready for that kind of a job. He wasn't as experienced with playing with players that are of that quality. I think Van Gaal's style of football is old. I don't think that it may have worked 10, 20 years ago, but definitely not in today's day and age. And just the way he manages his players, I think, today I saw Rashford come off at half-time or just afterwards, and Ashley Young was put up front, and you're kind of thinking, has he lost the plot really? There's something just not right in that team, and I think it has to be pointed at the manager. And if you're going to spend upwards of 250 million in 2 years on players that should be, like Angel Di Maria, like, Depay, players like that, you should be doing better. And I think it's strange, and I don't think it was Di Maria not adjusting to the Premier League. I think it was the manager that he had there that was the reason why he struggled. And I think it's the same for Depay. I think if you have a different manager, you get, better out of the players that you have there.
Bang on, Tom. I totally agree about Depay. I love Depay, but you don't have the formation to play him in. It made no sense when he came because I thought Van Gaal doesn't set up to play with Depay, and there was a reason he was on the bench for Holland at the World Cup under Van Gaal, and that's because the formation didn't quite suit him. A strange one. Depay's a very good player, and I actually think if Man U get the right appointment in the summer, he could be one player that the Premier League really needs to look out for next season if the change happens in the summer. Gonzo, ourselves in the quarter-final, Manchester United, whoever wins this, do you think they will go on to lift the cup? Because the other three teams, Everton, Watford and Palace, are all bang out of form in the league right now, aren't they?
Yeah, but Palace got the draw. Palace then got a win against Norwich, didn't they, at the weekend, I think. So I think Palace are a dangerous animal. Watford wouldn't concern me. Normally I'd be concerned about Everton, but it's that flicking the switch again. I think everybody's saying, well, maybe Everton are not performing in the league and they're saving themselves for the cup. But there's another dynamic with Everton. And firstly, even if it was easy just to flick the switch, which I don't think it is, Everton have somebody who's bought, I think, 51% of the ownership of the shares in the club. So with that, I think Martinez is under a bit of pressure as well. So I don't think it's a case of Martinez just saying, oh, do you know what, we'll sort of conserve our energies and go for the cup. It could well be that he's out of the job anyway, and I think he's probably fearing for his own future. Lukaku's probably got his eyes set on a move to PSG to replace Ibrahimovic, hasn't he? So, I don't really fear any of them. Palace a little bit, but we played them last week and we were much better, albeit for a refereeing howler.
Well, we've just discussed 4 of the teams left in the FA Cup. It's now time to discuss the last team left in the FA Cup, which is, of course, West Ham United. But before we do that, Gonzo just mentioned that the referee made a howler against Palace. Let's talk about the man in the middle. As you know, I love my man in the middle. And it's Roger East this time. He's only refereed 2 West Ham United games. One of them was last season, which was 1-1 against Stoke. And he's refed for 1 game this season with West Ham at Upton Park in the FA Cup. When beat Liverpool 2-1 after extra time. Omen. He has, however, he's only ever refereed 3 Manchester United games in total. 2 were last season when they won 2-0 against Sunderland and 3-1 against Aston Villa. And the game that he refed this season was their 3-0 victory over Stoke at Old Trafford. However, interesting fact, it's been 31 games since he handed out a red card. 31 games. Surely it's not going to happen on Wednesday. He does not hand out a lot of cards at all. He hands out about an average of 2 yellow cards a game, and that is it. He's not a very card-happy referee. So, Mr. Andy Carroll, feel free to physically assault the centre-backs as much as you like. Let's talk about our formation. Tom, you spoke about it in the review. You didn't get what Bilic was doing. Does Bilic need to revert back to 4-2-3-1 and keep it at 4-2-3-1, or do you think he might tamper it again? Because remember, in the first game we played at Old Trafford, you just spoke of Martial there, he caused Antonio issues at right back.
Yeah, he did. But I would go back to the other formation. I'd also have potentially I'd have Collins back in his team. I know some people may like him, some people may not, but I just think there's been too many goal ships since he was out injured, and I would like to see Collins back in for this. And Tompkins, we know he'll be fine if you stick him in at right back. I just think it was the formation the other day that stumped him. I think if you do get him in at right back for a game like this, I think there will be no issues. But that five at the back formation, I think, just confused everybody the other day, and they weren't really set up properly for it. So I would like to see us go back to the normal formation and have Antonio pushed up wide for this one.
Do you agree with that, Gonzo?
Well, it doesn't matter if I agree or not. I'm going to name the formation now and either look wise or look silly, and that will be Adrian in goal. I mean, he seems to be quite loyal aside from that, but I think with the fact that it's getting to the 10th stages now, he'll revert back to his number one in goal. We'll have Cresswell, we'll have Reed, we'll have a Bonner, and we'll have Tompkins at right back. He'll play Chiate, play Noble in the middle, then he'll play Lanzini, Payet, and Antonio pushed up, and he'll play Andy Carroll up top. And I think again maybe Sacco won't be involved at all.
But do you think that's harsh on? Do you not think that's harsh on Randolph? I think that's extremely harsh. Randolph has not done anything wrong at all in the FA. If anything, he's the reason we're still in this competition. He has pulled off save after save after. He's been a revelation in the FA Cup. I think it would be really harsh to bin him off for this game. Do you not think, Gonzo?
Well, actually, further than that, I would play Randolph because I actually think at the moment he's possibly in better form than Adrian, who's letting a few goals in his last games. But I'm just speculating. I don't have any no knowledge about that. And if there's one thing that's going to be wrong, it will be the goalkeeper. But I do think the outfield is going to be what I said.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to someone after the game, and I was saying maybe it's time we give Randolph Premier League games as well, because if I see Adrian get a back pass one more time and he takes a heavy touch, my heart goes in my mouth. I'm not going to be happy. He does it too often. He started doing keepy-ups, and now Welbeck closed him down on Saturday. We're all going to went for a goal kick, but it's too much for my little heart. Tom, what's your opinion on our keeper?
I Randolph, without a doubt. I don't. It's been true. Adrian has been scaring me a lot lately. He's been making some rash decisions, but we've always known him to do that. He's always lived on the edge ever since we bought him, and he's been in the team. But I see no reason why Randolph shouldn't start this game. And like you said, maybe give him a Premier League game or two, because I think he's a good keeper. Like we've said before. I think we were doing my first ever show a couple of months ago, and Gonzo said how good it was to have two number ones in the team. And I think Randolph hasn't put a foot wrong, and I would like to see him start a few more games.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we've got a keeper that's going to be number one at Euro 2016, and he's sitting on our bench, albeit it's for Ireland. Make of that what you will. But he needs game time for going to the Euros as well. He needs to stake his place, and it'd be harsh if he missed out on his Irish number one because he was on our bench. Gonzo, you've got a signed shirt competition. Tell us more, please.
I do have a signed shirt. I wish you'd have prepared me for that, because I would have got it out. I would have got it out ready. I was very kindly given a shirt by the club, which has been signed by all the first team squads. It's a home shirt. There is actually a video. If you look on our channel on Hammers Chat, then you'll see somewhere along there, you'll see a dodgy-looking bloke that looks very similar to myself holding up a shirt at pitch side. I'm going to give that out to any forum member, active forum member, that has done 20 posts or more on the forum there, hammerschat.boards.net. So sign up there, get involved. It's really a prize to help people get involved in the conversation and the community of Hammers Chat, where we discuss everything, match threads, banter, all the stuff we're discussing now, we already discuss on there. So come along, join up, and you've got a chance of winning the shirt.
Fantastic. We'll be running that competition for a wee while, so it gives new members plenty time to get over the 20 post limit as well, so everybody can enter. Tom, you're feeling confident for this one, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I think FA Cup is a different feeling than the Premier League. And last ever game under the lights at the FA Cup. I got a shirt. Seen it passed in there. No, under the lights for the FA Cup, I think it holds a different atmosphere, and I think everybody's going to be well up for it, and I expect a big win.
Well, Mrs. Gonzo has just been given her demands, and Mr. Gonzo has gone and got his prize. Here he is.
Did you see that pass from Mrs. Gonzo, though? That was
esque.
Right at Carl Tapford. I don't know if you can. I'm gonna get some light on this. You see that? There you go. It's full of. Can you see it? It's full of graffiti on it. I don't know if you can see that there. It's there you go. It's brand new, signed by all the players. It's a Great Britain large, USA large, Euro large, Asia extra large. Don't know why that is. There you go. Fantastic. I'm not going to keep it myself. That's going to someone.
Well, before I get these guys put their necks on the line as per normal, we've got our latest Talk West Ham show out. As far as I'm aware, the only West Ham YouTube channel that allows any Hammer in the world anywhere to get involved and express your views. So do give it a watch, and if you want to get involved, there's plenty of ways you can. All our social media links are on our YouTube channel, and of course on our forum. Gonzo already told you what the address is, but it's hammerschat.boards.net. Tom, prediction time, please.
I'm going to be bold. I think it'll be a tough game, but I think there will be a few goals. I'm going to say 3-1 West Ham. And I reckon that Payet it will have a bit more influence than it did for this game. I think he's going to be the star performer on Wednesday.
Oh, that's a bold prediction anyway. Gonzo, what's your prediction, please?
They've been in London today. They're going to go home from Tottenham, back up to Manchester. They've been in traffic. The bus got stuck today with Man U. They're going to travel all the way back down to London, and now they wish they'd have stayed at home because we're going to beat them 3-0.
3-0. You don't. I actually think it's going to go to extra time, and I do. I just think if Man U can't up their game for this game, they might as well just hand in a transfer request on Wednesday night to the club and say I don't deserve to be here. If you cannot, as a player, if you cannot give 110% in an FA Cup quarter-final, you don't deserve to be playing professional football, in my opinion. Just the way it is. I think we'll win 3-1 after extra time, though. I think we'll take them apart in extra time, and that little bit of class that we've got will shine through. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Hammer's Chat. If you want to check out all the latest West Ham news, it's cloudandhue.info. Do follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We've got loads of competitions, as Gonzo's just showing you there, that signed shirt. But Tom, thank you very much for your hosting and for popping on. Gonzo, let's see your shirt again, please.
There it is. Goodbye.
And that's goodbye from me as well. Thank you for watching.